Now it's 8:13 and there are a ton of questions this morning.
Lots
for
of questions.
All you parents out there. Do you send your kids back to school? Do you keep them home for remote learning? Just how do you make that decision?
Yeah, joining us this morning to provide some more information on making those tough decisions is a school placement consultant, Mike Munier. Mike, listen, I'm a parent, I've got kids, and we've had these conversations in our home, and a lot of parents have. What should parents look for in a school's decision? Because we're all waiting for these schools to make decisions.
Well, what's interesting right now is the variety of situations that the districts are going after at this point in time. When you look at the list of districts, all of them are doing something a little different. But I think the main thing you should look for is whether or not it can work for you. Can you support that and make it work in a situation that is pleasing to your family?
Yeah, and if someone can actually do the, online learning at home, if it's homeschooling, if it's tutoring of some sort, what kind of options do they have available?
Well, the online learning that the school districts are providing this time around is really quite good. They're much better prepared for this than they were back in the spring when everything abruptly had to stop. That really threw a major curveball to our school districts. It was tough. So the difference between those two, homeschooling and virtual learning are very similar, but the virtual learning aspect of this is driven by the school district and by the teachers, whereas homeschooling is driven by the parent, and they have to take that responsibility.
Yeah, and that's a hard decision to make. I mean, as a parent, I think you always want to kind of be in the driver's seat, but at the same time, like you hope and you put your faith in the school to kind of manage that education. And it does seem like what we dealt with at the end of last year totally different than what we're going to deal with. Are a lot of these school districts buying into programs or signing up for programs, or are they kind of creating their own virtual learning programs? What's happening here?
Well, most of them are developing their own programs. They put together task force and committees and surveys that have really gotten to the crux of what the needs are within the community. I was particularly impressed by what many of the larger school districts have done with their surveys of just gathering information of what's working and what's not. And so I think we need to be proud of what has taken place in our public system. Again, parents still have to decide what's going to work for me. How is this going to be? You're not going to please everybody. That's the biggest issue. They might all want to be going back to school. Some of them don't because they're worried about the risk factors and things of that sort. But bottom line is the school district have done a really, really good job in preparing for this.
Yeah, and you've got to work out the pros and the cons for your individual family as far as if it's in person, if it's virtual, if it's homeschooling.
You don't want to make the wrong decision. You'll mess your kid up. But, in my case, I'll probably mess him up anyways. So we're fine. Good to talk to you. Thank you so much. Very good advice. Very great, helpful information that hopefully we can all use to navigate these decisions we're making right now.